afternoon, everyone. Please join me in welcoming the Vice President of Communications and Public Affairs for Disney Signature Experiences, Yolanda Cade.
That's the energy that we're looking for. Listen, we're so glad that you all are all here, and we hope that you all have been discovering your own destinies. It's just been an incredible voyage, and now you understand what we mean when we say the Disney Destiny is themed to heroes and villains. It's purpose-built for families, and it is bringing Disney stories to life like never before. Do you feel that when you walk around the ship? Great, great. Well, we're going to go a little bit deeper today. So I brought along some friends and some experts who are the dreamers, the doers, the creators who help to bring Disney Destiny to life. And they're going to give you even more detail than you've been able to see and experience so far. And then we're going to get a lot of your questions answered. How does that sound? Okay, all right, that sounds like a panel to me. So will you join me in giving them a warm welcome? Let's start with Manager of Interior Design for Walt Disney Imagineering, Beth Burkhardt. Come on up, Beth. Creative Director, Disney Live Entertainment, Disney Signature Experience, Jen Bascom. Come on up, Jen. And my cruise director and your cruise director for Disney Cruise Line, Carly Scott. There you go, there's the love. And then our hotel director, shipboard operations for Disney Cruise Line, the one and only Lisa Pickett. All right, ladies. So we were saying backstage, this is like the Destiny View show or something, right? So it's all the ladies on the panel, and I'm super excited because I know you all have a lot to share. Thank you all for being here. So I'm going to start first with you, Carly. Yes, what a surprise!
I'm so shy.
Yes. You know, one of the things we're super excited about is that many of you all told us that it's your first time cruising. It's been a lot of first time cruisers. And so, Carly, as a cruise director, you really play a significant role in the experience of our guests on board. Can you talk a little bit about what you do and what you oversee and how you interact with our guests in your role as cruise director? What do you do?
Great question. I ask myself the same thing every single day. Well, as the cruise director, I oversee all entertainment operations. So there's everything from our youth activities teams, the events and activities first thing in the morning till last thing at night, the deck events, the fireworks at sea, our youth activity spaces, as I mentioned, also port adventures and recreation too, and all our technical spaces around the ship as well, especially that are involved in entertainment. The great thing of entertainment, and being an entertainment company itself, we have our hands in so many pies, and so we work so closely with the rest of our partners here on board, especially within our steering committee, to be able to help them to be able to make sure that we bring all those spaces to life, to make sure that we create those magical moments that will last a lifetime. And I have the great honor of doing that, and my team themselves, there's just over 200 crew members in entertainment. So yeah, we're out and about here, there and everything, first thing in the morning, last thing at night, making sure that everyone's having a great time.
Fantastic. And I think we've been hearing from all of you how much fun they've been having with you and your team, and it's just been such a pleasure. So Carly, I'm going to stay with you because you have a really unique vantage point because you've actually been with the ship from the early days in Germany. As you all know, we build and construct our ships in Germany in a very special way. So what does it feel like to watch that transformation of watching her be built and constructed to seeing her fully ready and welcoming our very first guest today?
Well, it ended up being my destiny after all.
It is your destiny. I see what you did there.
So I did, I tried. So I actually joined over in Papenburg in Germany in May. So I saw pretty much when she was steel. She was literally her last block, so just got on board. And then so watching her to be able to pretty much be built from the ground up to where she is today is such a great honor, and to be able to work with the incredible people that I've worked with along the route as well has been a fascinating and incredible journey. It really has. We've made some great bonds with obviously just the people that are here on stage that we've known for many years as well, but to be able to continue to make those memories and to train our crew and get them ready, and they're so excited as well. So that maiden voyage is just around the corner on November 20th, and so truly to see it come from where it was to where it is today, I'm just really, really proud.
Fantastic. Just so many incredible stories, right? Thank you for that, Carly. Now we're going to go to this side of the stage, and Lisa, we're going to come to you. So as the hotel director, we are all well rested and smiling, see all these faces because of you and your team, right? Just the incredible accommodations. You oversee, the crew, right? Much of the crew, and that really is the secret sauce. That is what makes Disney Cruise Line so special. And so I want you to talk a little bit about how important and how special is that guest interaction to a Disney Cruise Line experience that you and your crew deliver. It really is the Disney difference. Just talk a little bit about that.
You know, it really is the Disney difference. I have almost 1,100 of the team on board, actually. So the entire food and beverage operation, housekeeping, guest services, merchandise, photos, spa, everything to do with that hotel experience. And whether it's your stateroom host, who's really creating a home away from home for you inside of the staterooms and suites, dining room service team who follows our guests from dining room to dining room, really anticipating those dining needs for our guests, guest services or merchandise hosts, every one of those interactions is extremely important to truly create that special vacation experience for guests of all ages. It really is something magical.
Yeah, absolutely. Disney is known for their extraordinary service, and we love sharing all the time. We love sharing this fact that 40% of people who cruise say they took a cruise because Disney, has a cruise vacation. So it's really special, and they do that because of you and your crew, Lisa. So thank you so much. So what would you say is the Disney difference that you hear from our guests that they really, really, really love? What do you hear from them?
You know, I think that there are so many Disney differences. I hear anything from exceptional attention to detail, really bringing stories to life on board our beautiful vessels, and now how exciting Hero the Disney Destiny with Heroes and Villains story. But for me, I think the true Disney difference is our crew from around the world that really provide that authentic and that genuine guest experience and truly care about taking care of our guests' needs as we create a very magical vacation for our guests. So truly, I think that our crew are what stands out as the Disney difference.
We agree. And they really become a part of their memories and build such strong relationships with them, right? And early, I know you know that's true as well. So we're on a cruise ship and we're talking about Disney Destiny. We love to remind everyone that we're an entertainment company who also happens to be in the cruise business, right? So Jen, I'm going to come to you and we're going to talk about creative entertainment. So as the creative director for Shipwide Live Entertainment, that's a really cool job, I feel like, right?
Awesome.
Can you share more details about the new entertainment on board Disney Destiny? And we've gotten that question from a lot of you all. What's new, what's exciting? There are new character interactions and the way you're bringing those to life. What will our guests be able to experience in terms of that heroes and villains theme from an entertainment perspective?
So, from Disney Live Entertainment, I think the most exciting thing we heard was that the thematic motif was heroes and villains. Like, it doesn't get more dramatic than that, right? That's the heart of storytelling. And this is the first time ever that our guests are coming face to face with villains at sea. So we knew we had to do things differently, and I think we really turned up the dial for our guests' engagement. When you engage with a hero, whether it's a fairy tale hero, a royal, or it's Mickey and his pals, or it's a superhero, that's a huggable, warm experience. Villains are not huggable, and that is awesome. So we were able to create experiences like Dr. Facilier's Parlor, where you enter the parlor and have this intimate experience where you are doing a card trick. You're playing a dangerous game of cards with a villain. It's so exciting. Or one of the first experiences our guests got to engage in is when we told the story of Loki. And Loki showed up because he was here to clear his name. And then he sort of upped the stakes and decided he is now the king of our ship. So currently we are all under Loki's reign. But perhaps this afternoon that may change. We'll find out at Celebration of the King. But we were really excited about how our guests could engage with villains in a durational experience, since we're all living among them for a few days. That was a really fun way for us to create experiences, along with our heroes. For those of you who have not spent much time with Spider-Man, not to bore you, we've got hero moves with Spider-Man happening this afternoon, where you can learn some moves and help Spider-Man thwart a villain right here in the Grand Hall. It's exciting.
That sounds like so much fun. So we'll be practicing our wooden plates,
With
right?
wood.
We'll be
Yes.
ready. And I'll tell you, Jen, I bumped into some of the villains, and they keep telling me, we're just misunderstood heroes. Would you tell Jen that? And I said, I would.
They're lying.
Okay, I knew it.
Sorry.
Oh, good. Thank you for that. And so this is for the entire panel. Anyone jump in here. One of the questions that many of our guests had was really around adults, right? And I think we all get this question all the time. Do I have to have kids to be on the ship? And what do you have to do for adults? But we intentionally designed our ships in a certain way. How intentional was the design and programming for adults on board the Disney Destiny? Because there really is a lot for them to do, but I'd love for you to just kind of unpack that a little bit for them.
I love the fact that guests of all ages, from the young and truly to the young at heart, can disconnect from the outside world, reconnect with each other. And as mentioned, we have spaces and events, activities for every single member of the family. And for our adults, particularly on the ship, I'm just so super excited with the extra activities and events that we have coming our way as well, including those incredible spaces as well.
Has anyone seen With Great Power? Anybody seen it's an 18
Okay.
up, we love that, right? And Carly's team, they partnered so beautifully with us to bring engagements like that to life, where it is a little more, I won't call it sophisticated, let's be honest, but it is a little more mature in terms of what kind of humor we get to do right here on the Saga Lounge stage. That's been a blast for us to bring these hero stories to life in a very different way. We had a blast with that.
You know, we often see when our guests first decide to take a Disney Cruise Line vacation, they come as a family or as a family reunion. But then we see grandma and grandpa or mom and dad come back to sail with us to be able to enjoy whether it's Paulo's Steakhouse or Enchanté or the Rose and all of the incredible adult-only offerings that we have available.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Beth's team did an incredible job with DeVille.
Yes.
Yes. And we have an engagement, but I'd love for you to talk about DeVille's if that's okay.
Yes, go for it.
Yeah, so DeVille's was so much fun because it was the first time we ever have a villain space on board, and we were able to look at what that looks like in a space. So, you know, we were able to look at Cruella as a character herself. She's this bold, larger-than-life, dramatic personality, and so we could look at color palettes like her iconic black and white color palette and red to inform the general look of the space. But then we also have high fashion influencing the look of it, with the textiles in the space, the shapes of the furniture. She has such an iconic car in the film too, so that informs some of the shapes that you see, like the pilasters around the piano. And you know, she loves her spots, so we have spots scattered throughout, and a lot of fun details for guests to discover in there.
So many great details, right? And it's one of the reasons why we are the leader in family cruising. We're purpose-built for families, and those dedicated spaces, whether you're an adult or the entire family, it's fantastic. You can usually go catch me over in the Cove Cafe, right? Grabbing a coffee or one of our great cafes, just so many spaces, and you all do a beautiful job. Beth, actually we're going to come back to you because we want to talk a little bit about how your team specifically incorporated the theme of heroes and villains. It's in the interior, it's throughout the way the ship is built, every part of it. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so from the moment you board the Disney Destiny, you are welcomed into our grand hall. So we wanted to start out with a hero's welcome. So T'Challa and the world of Wakanda is what first introduces you to the Destiny. And this is our kingdom on the seas. So here you'll get to encounter different heroes and villains throughout the course of the cruise. Like I was just saying, it was the first time we were able to have a villain space on board. So as we looked for different spaces on the ship, we saw how we could use heroes and villains to tie all of these different stories together. So here in Saga, we have an extension of the Black Panther story, DeVille's, we have a villain story, and then even areas like our stair towers and elevator lobbies. That was really fun to get to use those areas like giant art galleries, really. So we have our forward stairs, which are fully dedicated to villains. And it was so fun to be able to dive into so many villain stories. It's not even just the villains you think of kind of as like our top 5 or 6 villains, but we really got to go into deeper characters from all of our stories, from Marvel to Pixar, classic animation films, and Lucasfilm. So that was a lot of fun. And even the way we looked at the architectural details in the space, from our villain stair to our hero stair, it informed the colors we used. Villains are often associated with colors like green, purple, red. So we have green as our color there to tie all the villains together. Blue for heroes, much more optimistic. The shape language is angular, even the way villains are animated. You'll see Cruella or Madame Medusa, very angular cheekbones and chin lines. So we wanted to look at that in the architecture of the space too. So you may notice from the stair balustrades to graphic details in the space, they change from our forward to aft stairs as well.
Telling stories all over the ship and every part of it. Thank you for that, Beth. And I'm wondering if I can stay with you for just a moment, because one of the things that our Disney fans and our guests love is finding all the hidden Mickeys on board the ship and all the hidden details. Are there any hidden Mickeys that you can point out around the ship, or special details so when they leave they can go and kind of seek those out?
Yes, well, I won't give all of them away because part of the fun is finding them on your own. But some of them that are actually quite helpful with wayfinding on the ship are in your stateroom corridors. So you'll probably see some hidden Mickeys in your staterooms as well. But as you're walking down the corridors, we have Mickeys in each of our carpet designs. So Mickey is always headed towards the front of the ship. So you may see him in Big Hero 6 or Brave or Hercules corridors. He'll always be pointing you to the front of the ship. And then we have them, in a certain spotted location on board. I know some of you were already pointing them out earlier today. So it's really fun to add those in throughout. And it's not just Mickeys that we hide. Since the Destiny is our 7th ship in the fleet, we've had a lot of fun with the number 7. So as I was talking about the stair towers earlier in the elevator lobbies, there we have our Maleficent carpet and our Sorcerer Mickey carpets. You may notice that in the 4 corners of those, we have 7 stars for the heroes, 7 green orbs for the villains. In our Pirates pub, we also have 7 pirate ships on the ceiling as a nod to stay in story, but be a nod to Destiny as the 7th ship in the fleet.
And even in this elevators as well, the elevator signs as well, there are 7 stars around Destiny too.
We gave them quite a few, so they'll have to go out and discover the rest. But I think those were good. We promised we'd give them a few. So thank you for that, Beth. So for the entire panel, we want to talk about sound, lighting, and design, right? Because it is such a part of how we immerse our guests. So, how do you think that plays a role in helping our guests feel like they're really stepping into the story? Anyone? And there's so many spaces on the ship where we do that, right? So jump on in.
I think a great place would be in the Grand Hall. I think that's a perfect place for Beth if you would do that.
Yeah, so our Grand Hall, we had a lot of fun with the space on the Destiny. And you've probably already seen it transform at this point. So as T'Challa is in the space, it feels light and bright and optimistic during the day. But for the first time, we were able to play with color and light in a really dramatic way. So if a villain were to enter the space, we can completely transform the look and feel of it with light and color, so that it represents the character, and it also has this kind of eerie, ominous feel when a villain walks in. Whereas, as a hero like Spider-Man is playing in the space later today, it's going to feel much more energizing, optimistic, and light.
And this room is sort of a creator's dream, because we've got this magnificent, beautiful screen behind us, and we really can transform space here. So we took that opportunity to do this cool thing called Under Her Spell with Maleficent, this encounter where she transforms space and time by casting spells, and we go to different places within her realm, and then she brings some guests up. She chooses some guests to do her bidding, and that's been really fun. The Oculus is what this is called above us, does some really incredible things. Thank you, WDI, for playing with us on that. So we were able to take advantage of this incredible light source, along with the architectural lighting in the space and the theatrical lighting. So we really can take people places when she, for example, does the spell where she casts her fire, her green fire. It's as if the whole room has caught on green fire, which is a very unique experience. So we were really excited to do that in this space.
I love the fact that every venue on board, no matter what it is a stage. Not just in my own world, but every world, like every space is a stage. So we can really tell those stories, and each and every venue has its own story to tell. So whether it is in DeVille's, whether it's downstairs in the Sanctum, whether it's inside the Walt Disney Theatre, one of the most technological, advanced theatres pretty much at sea, we've got some incredible spaces that we can turn and truly make it all part of the story and immerse all our guests in that story with us along for the journey as well.
So well said, Carly. And I mean, I saw so many people clapping and just really be astounded at the way we're able to bring Hercules to life. And it's probably the best example of lighting, sound effects, right? We're still trying to figure out with the bubbles how did you make the smoke come out of those? I think we were all popping them. It was a secret. We'll have to find that out later. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about people who cruise with us for the very first time. There are a lot of you that are here, a lot of people joining us for the very first time. So one of the things we wanted to talk about are the key takeaways. If you're a first-time guest, what would that key takeaway be? What would we want them to know?
There is so much, right? There is so I think that some of the amazing things that we see now is even just what we have on social media and everything that's on there with those know before you go, those like helpful hints on the socials is incredible. And I think that's such a great thing for a pirate night. If you're going to a pirate night, we will help you once you're on board to be able to get into those themes, but to know what's coming on at the cruise as well, so you're prepared, you get the family prepared, you get yourselves prepared, ready and set to go. And especially on that very first day where there is so much happening, so you can find where you're going to go for dinner, when you're going to go to come to the set sail party, what showtime is. And so there is so much on those very first days to be able to help you. And so I think reading up, getting prepared as much as you can, and then also we have crew members on board to help you every step of the way. So we're here to help you just as much as everything else.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, that our crew is here to help with the journey. But I also think for those that aren't sure, like if mom wants to go for a cruise, but maybe there's somebody that's not sure whether or not they want to, there truly is something for everyone. Whether you want that relaxing vacation to enjoy, and so you head to the spa, or you relax up poolside, or you want to be involved in all the incredible activities. There really is something for everyone in the family to enjoy, to make that vacation personalized, and then all come together for a beautiful meal and family time, right? Every night at dinner. I think it's just something very special.
Even in live entertainment, we think about Jenny Weinblum, who's our VP. We always talk about how there's skimmers, swimmers, and deep divers. And so we try and create experiences at every level so that really it is something for everyone, even if you're in a different mood, right? Because you might be a different everyone each day of your vacation. So that always rings true for us as well.
Yeah, I come from a large family where we have a huge age range, and that's something that is amazing cruising as well. So now that I have a toddler of my own, I also have, siblings that are much younger than me, having experiences that, are inviting to every age. It's so nice to have experiences like we talked about, where we can kind of go off and do our own thing during the day, and then we all come together at dinner or to see a show together in the evening. It's such a nice way to bring everyone together like that.
It's so true, and I would just say the one tip I give first timers is make sure you download the Navigator app, because it really is, you're walking like your personal assistant on board, and you layer all the great crew members and all of the great tips on top of it, but it guides you right throughout the day. Did anyone use their app? I hope you all used your app while you're here, right? And you can plan your day. So it's just a great tool and a special tool on board. One of the things that we wanted to just kind of celebrate is how excited we are that the Disney Destiny is actually going to be sailing from our second home port in Port Everglades, right? We're super excited about that. So now we have 2 ships that will be home ported in Florida year-round. So that gives our guests and all of you an opportunity to delight more of our guests, but it gives them more options. Some driving distance to Walt Disney World. The airport is close in Fort Lauderdale. It's an incredible destination. We're super excited. And one of the things that was really astounding to me is when I think about the number of guests we're going to welcome. So in FY26 alone, 1 million passengers will embark on a Disney cruise from a Florida port, right? So we're super excited about that, and it just really reflects the strong demand for Disney as we continue to tell these stories, and it's really all about the storytelling. So we all say that Disney Cruise Line is like a storybook, and each of these ships is a chapter in this book. And so we just opened the chapter of Heroes and Villains, but when you step on board, it's like you're living, that chapter. So we're super excited. So panel, one final question for all of you. We talked about the epic sagas of heroes and villains, and you all have shared a lot. And I know all of us as the dreamers, the doers, the builders, right, of this great ship. There's some things that are very, very close to our hearts. So unfair question. It's like choosing, your favorite family member. But what part of Disney Destiny is your favorite, most close to your heart, and why? So Beth, we'll start with you. As a builder and a dreamer.
I absolutely love our Grand Hall. We were able to do something completely different in that space, and I love the way people can come together in that space and experience it at different times throughout the day. It really feels completely different during the day than late at night if you happen to be there during the Kiss Goodnight, for example. It's a nice little magical moment that happens in there where it comes to life, or maybe you've encountered a villain during the day. So that one has a special place in my heart.
I was there last night. Some of us were there. It was quite magical. What about you, Jen?
I think about the North Star for me, which is, I'm going to get emotional, I can't help it. When Walt created the parks, and he talked about how he wanted a place where adults and children can feel like they can play. And so I think we're really digging deeper into that. When Disneyland opened, Walt said something to the effect of, it's as if Alice is stepping into the looking glass for each and every guest. We're stepping in. When guests enter that grand hall, we are not only inviting them to step into a story, we're not only inviting them to experience a story, we are telling them they are the story. Whether they're writing a song for Cruella in DeVille's and making her feel better because that other song was kind of mean, or they're walking the runway for her in the Grand Hall later this afternoon in Wretched Runway. Our stories are told on the Destiny with our guests. And that to me feels like my favorite overall experience in every space on board.
Well said. Carly.
Oh, it's a very tough question.
It's hard to follow that,
It
right?
really is. Oh my goodness, pick your favorite child. There really is so many spaces we mentioned. For me, the heart and soul of the show, of course, is the Grand Hall. Our crew are our heart and soul as well. But the Walt Disney Theatre, it really is the beating heart of all entertainment, and so that's my playground where I get to play so often, as well as around the rest of the ship as well. But the offerings that we have in there, we have 3 incredible shows inside the Walt Disney Theatre, whether it's Disney Seas the Adventure, Frozen, a musical spectacular tonight, and of course Disney Hercules as well. So there's some incredible stories that we get to bring on life for families and people of all ages, which is incredible and represented so well.
Well said, well said. And Lisa?
I'm not sure how I add to that except to say Pride Lands, I think, is just something very special. Whether it's Paulo's Steakhouse or Enchanté or Pride Lands, I think our restaurants are exceptional. But for me, the heart is always, and I think I'm most proudest of this exceptional crew from around the world. How they've helped us bring the Disney Destiny to life, and the exceptional service that they provide will always be my favorite.
And for all these reasons, there is nothing like a Disney cruise vacation anywhere that anyone can ever find, right? It's something we're exceptionally proud of. So I want to thank you, Lisa, Beth, Jen, and Carly. And join me in thanking our panelists. Right? Thank you really good information. Thank all of you for all of your incredible questions. We were really happy to kind of share that with you today, but it's not over yet. There is still time for you to discover your destinies before it all is said and done. There's still a lot to do today and tonight to continue to delight you. So we appreciate you being here. Thank you for joining us. and we will see you around the ship real soon. Thanks, everyone.